Welcome to another comparison round at Zee Park. I wanted to compare a couple of other discs here. Today I'm going to go for a couple fairway drivers. So I've got my Jackalope here by Mint. This is an 8.5 -2.1. So a little bit understable of a disc. I've always commented before that I really like throwing this disc. Quite a few shots. It's very much a point it and it's going to go there. On the other hand, I'm going to compare it to another Mint disc, the Mint Diamondback. If you've paid attention, which I'm not sure why you would have, I have not actually thrown this in a video yet. And the reason is I'm just not very familiar with it. And so I want to get more familiar with it. I've got it in my bag. Why am I not throwing it? This one is a 9.5 -2.2. So very slightly more overstable, but also very slightly faster in theory. So I'm going to try these out. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to throw both of them on every hole and see how this goes. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Jackalope since I'm more familiar with it. Have not warmed up at all. This is probably not going to be much of a throw. A little better than I expected. Got a little bit of snap and a little bit of turn out of it. Now let's see if I can do a similar shot with the Jackalope. I mean, with the Diamondback. Well, it definitely has a little more fade to it. Not too much different. Or do short approaches with my fairway drivers. So I'm only going to throw both of them off the tee. And I'm not going to play it as a one score versus the other. I'm going to play it on CTPs. So closest to pin. In this case, Jackalope was closer to pin. So I'm going to give the point to the Jackalope. It was actually only about 12 or 15 feet closer though. And very similar lies. So realistically, the Jackalope just didn't fade as much, which is why it was closer. Just shape of the shot. But honestly, I liked them both on that throw. I'm really going to just try to lay this up because I hate the way this basket or this hill runs away. Perfect. That's a tap in. In this gap, I've definitely thrown the Jackalope on this hole before, so I got a little bit of an idea. In theory, if I can kind of snap it, give it just a little bit of hyzer and let it drift to the left, it's perfect. Or I don't know if it actually could be good to go to the right of these trees back here and let it fade to the left. But I would love to see a little more fade than what the Jackalope has to do that shot. And maybe the Diamondback's got that right, but let's be honest, I don't have the accuracy to hit that on purpose, so we're just going to throw it down there. I'm going to throw the Jackalope again first, since it did win that CTP. Throwing with just a little hyzer is the intention. Oh man, I thought that was holes. I thought it was so good. Try to throw this just about the same. That, I feel like I didn't throw as hard. Though it ended up a much better shot because it didn't hit a tree. Right in between these trees is where I ended up. I can't do my standard straddle that I like, but this was 40 or, yeah, probably 40 or 50 feet shorter, closer, I mean, than the Jackalope. So the Diamondback definitely won the CTP on this one. Oh, I thought I had it. This isn't a shot that I would normally throw either of these discs on. I actually like throwing like my buzz or my gauge or something on this. that seems about the right distance for me. So I gotta admit, if I really accidentally get a hold of one of these, I'm a little worried I'm gonna overthrow the basket. But I'm gonna throw the Diamondback first this time since it got the CTP. Oh no! All right, now it's gonna be easy to beat. Yeah, there it is. That looks like it's probably pretty good unless it stood up and rolled. Should be the CTP regardless. I mean, heck, maybe I should be trying to throw that more often with the Jackalope because this turned out great. That being said, hit the tree, don't hit the tree. I don't feel like I'm learning anything on either of those shots with these discs. All right, hole 4. Just right up here. Not really sure what that blue barrel is. But you're basically going to go right past that, right up over the hill. I'm not comfortable forehanding either of these enough to try the route that I haven't even hit with the discs I am comfortable with. So definitely going to go the backhand route. This is definitely something I could overthrow the holes with these discs pretty easily. But we're going to try it anyways. It does seem like we're going back and forth. Jackalope's got the tee. Ooh, I turned that. Ooh. I mean, that was a cool flight, but not the right direction. See, that was definitely... I feel like I threw those the same way. And I didn't throw them super hard, but the Jackalope definitely picked up and turned right, whereas the Diamondback did not. Threw kind of straight and then faded out. All right, so the Diamondback very clearly had CTP on that one. So we tied it up again. Oh, come on. So a couple conclusions I've already come to here. One, something that should have been obvious, but I didn't think about. There's just too many short holes on this course for really exploring the differences between these discs. Like hole 1, I'm always cold when I throw it, so it's not a great hole for throwing. 2 has some distance, it's through the woods, so that's actually not such a bad hole, unless you hit a tree, which I did. 6 coming up is gonna be a great hole to explore on. 7, nah, I'm not gonna say 7. Hole 8 though, it's a good one because it's that forehand hole. And then 9, obviously a good one because it's got a lot of distance out in the open. I'll get to really see the flight differences. But that's only, what, 3-4 holes that are really good for exploring the difference. So I really need to try this one again, this comparison at a more open, longer distance. Maybe I need to make it back out to Lakewood or something. Anyways, hole 5, 155 feet, according to the sign. I think it's actually shorter than that. It's a putter shot that I'm going to do with a couple fairway drivers. And let's see, Jackalope was definitely away, so it's back to the Diamondback. Oh, I definitely didn't get that right. Ooh, that's not a good spot to be. Tried to throw that like a putter, didn't work. Even that one I threw like a putter. I still think that's going to be CTP though. That's not too bad a spot. Yeah, this one definitely was the CTP. It still left me a putt. The other one's well outside the circle over there. So, all right, pick a chain, point at the basket. On to hole 6, 230 feet uphill. Baskets. You know, it's funny perspective-wise. It's straight behind that basketball hoop, but you can see the Mando on the right side here. You got to go Mando left of that, and then the basketball hoop is a good indicator of the edge of the out of bounds, because that is right at the edge of the out of bounds. There's a big circular concrete pad up there that is OB. So you kind of got to get out there a little ways, get off to the right a little bit, or you got to make it deep of the OB, which I generally don't do. On the CTPs, it's going back and forth, back and forth. So the Jackalope got it this time. We're back to throwing the Jackalope. And let's see what I can do. I'm going to try to release this flat, because in theory it should drift right when I do that. Yeah, it definitely drifted right. That should be... Actually, I'm going up the hill a little bit on that throw. That was a pretty good one. I'm going to have a tough time beating that with the Diamondback. So again, trying to throw it, maybe even the tiniest bit of anhyzer on this one. Yeah, I got a tiny bit of anhyzer, and I threw it up in the air. I'm going to be on the concrete. Yep, that's OB. So the Jackalope got the CTP here just by default, simply because it didn't go out of bounds. That being said, it was actually a little bit further. It was probably only 10 feet further, so it wasn't a lot. So if I had gotten that same from the Diamondback, but you know, 5 degrees lower, I might have actually done even better. Just a layup. Yep, perfect. So that was officially the first time that one disc has taken a lead over the other one. So Jackalope now is what, 4 against 2 on the CTPs. But here's gonna be an interesting one. 7 wants to fade down the hill. I think I have to throw the forehands on here, mainly just because I need to find out how the forehand's gonna go before I have a must-do forehand hole. Because even if I throw this backhand, there's a good chance it goes down the hill. So might as well make my mistake on this one. So of course, starting with the Jackalope. Oh yeah, just turned it over. Now, luckily I threw it low enough that it stuck to the ground there. Oh, that was a pretty shot and the wrong direction. Man, I'm not even sure which one's gonna be closer on that. So the Jackalope definitely had a more open shot. This is a little bit closer, but also instead of throwing along the side of the hill, this is putting up the hill, which I like a lot better for the approach. So I definitely think the Diamondback won that one. I'm just gonna try to curl up around to the right, slide up to the basket. Yep, that should be perfect. Hole 8, 200-ish feet downhill off the right side. The forehand is, in my opinion, the right play. A couple days ago, I just launched my Raider right over the back fence. Now, obviously, neither of these discs are the same speed as a Raider. Hopefully, that means I can't do that. I really honestly think the Diamondback is going to be a better throw here because it does have a little bit of fade. The Jackalope just doesn't seem to have any fade at all. Now, that could come to the fact that I've had the Jackalope longer than the Diamondback, and I've also thrown it a lot more, which means that it's had contact with more trees, more gravel, more ground. The Jackalope is probably a little more beat in than the Diamondback, and therefore may have lost some of its stability on its own. But regardless, I have yet to throw a nice forehand with the Jackalope. I'm turning them, every one of them over. The Diamondback, I can actually throw somewhat straight. So we're going to try them anyways, obviously. In this case, Diamondback's got the box. Try to just smooth it out, cock the wrist back, smooth it out. Doesn't need to be hard. That wasn't great. All right, same thing. Smooth it out. Keep it back. Keep it low. Oh, that might be great. Oh my gosh, I think that that was almost an ace. Wow. Was not expecting the Jackalope to do better there. So I've been playing disc golf now for, shoot, 18, 19, 20 years, something like that. I've been playing it pretty casually, but it's been pushing 20 years now I've been playing disc golf. I have never thrown an ace. Not one. I would have been real excited to throw that as an ace. Also, would have been real excited to have that on film. That should be a goal of mine, is to have an ace on film, but hasn't happened yet. I figure it'll happen one day. I just gotta have faith. It'll happen one day. Pick a chain. Point the finger. Oh, come on. Hole 9, 230 feet, pretty much up the hill. The only obstruction on the right or on the left side, so not really an obstruction for me. Jackalope won that one, so Jackalope's got the tee. In fact, Jackalope has already guaranteed the victory with 5 out of the 9 holes. But if the Diamondback can get this one, then we end up with pretty close to a split at least. On a side note, I think I wore the wrong wardrobe today, because all I have underneath this is a tank top, so I don't really want to go without the sweatshirt. In the trees, I wasn't doing too bad, but out here in the sunshine, it's hot out here. Also, on the subject of it being hot out here, I'm thinking about sunscreen. So a week ago, I was out here in torrential downpour. Like, welcome to spring in the Northwest. I'm definitely have to put fertilizer on this, because I'm going to want to flip all the way over. A little too much hyzer, but a pretty good shot. And then this one, I probably want to throw relatively flat. Oh, but not that direction. Well, Jackalope got that CTP. I think I actually had better distance on the Diamondback, but the Jackalope got the CTP. So I have a couple final conclusions to make on this. They talk about the speed difference, a 9 versus an 8. I can't tell enough of the difference. It doesn't seem to make much difference to me. The Diamondback definitely has more fade. It's almost like the Jackalope to me has no fade at all. Like, except the only time I saw it fade the entire time was when I did that really nice forehand. And that was such a soft shot, it makes sense. When I was ripping on it, I never saw the Jackalope really fade. So the Diamondback actually has some fade. That's not a bad thing, not a good thing. It's just definitely a difference, something to keep in mind. It also makes me wonder, if I got a brand new Jackalope, would it fly different? Because I definitely feel like this is more understable than I remember. Maybe I'm throwing harder now? I hope so. I really hope that's the answer. The other conclusion I've come to, well, 2 conclusions. Number 2, I need to do this comparison again out in a field. Like, out in a course that's in the open. And then my third comparison is that my putting still needs a lot of work. Don't stand up. Perfect.